So, before you know it, Todd and I find ourselves smuggled into a shipment skiff, and we're on our way to the Gorefields. And once we're there, and I see him, leather jacket, the black, the blue, the green. Well, after a while, I feel a song coming on. It's finally my chance to start a new romance. Who knew it could have happened to me? A different kind of guy king. The way he makes my heart sing could only mean it's meant to be. He's gonna take the Salt King down. I can almost even see it now. In his blood, Wolfram will fucking drown as I crush his tiny crown beneath my feet into dust. Oh, I just can't wait for my dear Sabrina. I'm just so elated for my daughter to meet ya. You've taken what's so dark from bodies torn apart. The field's a work of art, for us a new start.
Wake up to the job of the bell. No sweat, now I'm feeling swell. Gee golly, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna burn my troubles away. I'm going nuclear, light up the town. The walls that hold me, I'm melting down. I'm rising up like a mushroom cloud. I'm going nuclear, light up this town. That's right.
Yeah, I think Austin's starting to get overdunked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like how I've been really over socialized and I can't speak to anybody now. Austin's like I've been tormented for like 4 years.
You put the cookie in the milk too many times and it just comes all the fuck apart.
It crumbles.
I mean, I've been told the brain stops developing at like 22, so you're not that young, right?
I thought it was 25.
It is 25.
Chris just stopped filling up 22 and assumed everyone else is the same.
I was like, what? Wait, you guys got 3 extra years? What the fuck?
Yes, that's right. We got 3 extra years.
Last we left this adventure, Lola Beans and Sabrina Wolfram had met with Duke Pendergrass, asking for information about conduits, and I guess probably also Sabrina's mom, although that didn't come up as much because
Who he was fucking.
Sabrina was given the choice and went, yeah, but both. That's how Austin's tests work.
the group agreed to do a little errand for the Duke in exchange for the information they want, which is to investigate the orange grove and see who keeps wrecking all those trees.
Oh, fuck yeah. I forgot it was an orange grove.
That wasn't for you specifically, but in hindsight, it is a little gift, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Is it all oranges or is it all manner of citrus fruits?
Well, you have to go through some fields to get there. So you were given general directions, but while you are on the way there, why don't you make some kind of roll?
How many tangelos can I pocket?
It depends on your roll.
All right, I'm going to roll survival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the classic Tangelo roll.
Yeah, classic tangelo or tangerine or... I don't really like grapefruits. I don't think anybody really likes grapefruits.
I know someone who likes grapefruits.
That's true, I do too. 16, give me them lows.
That was a weird lie. Chris, would you like to play Dungeons and Dragons with me?
Oh wait, I'm gonna bide time. So that was a successful roll, and I have a negative. So just statistically speaking, wouldn't make sense to roll, right? That's just how logic works. I'm scared, Austin. Hold me.
Okay, so paint me this picture. You've succeeded, Lola Beans. You and Sabrina leave the Duke's Vineyard and start going on the way to the Grove. Because Chris just chose not to roll, let's say Sabrina is thoroughly not paying attention. She's deep in her own thoughts. And you are doing all the rangering right now.
Also, plus it's easier for me to grab fruits off trees and see farther if I'm top of a porcupine.
Yeah, paint me the picture of this journey.
Well, if I know how tree groves work, there's like a little rows, right? So I like to think we're riding down a row, and I'm just like snatching them every snatch I can get, and trying
Lauren
to
Morgan, every snatch I can get.
every snatch I can get. 2020. My birthday's in 2 weeks, people. Hey. Okay. No. Don't leave that in. They'll think I want to fuck them.
No.
I'm just, whistling it. No, I can't whistle and jug blow.
Can the exploring and traveling theme from Lost be playing while we're doing this?
Nobody knows what that is. Chris.
I know what that is.
I know a lot of people know what it is.
Michael Giacchino is a very famous composer who makes awful puns in all of his musical tracks. So, good and evil with everything, really.
Chris, what music's going to be in the background is going to be between you and the HBO executive, so I don't want to get in the middle there. But I would like if you would add something to Sabrina's characterization in the opening shot of this episode.
I would like her to be confidently trudging forward because she has blocked out that dilemma from earlier. Doesn't matter. Stupid adult, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, boy.
You're definitely gonna get everything.
Gotta go beat something up.
How good is Sabrina at catching things?
Probably not great.
I was gonna try to playfully throw a Tangelo at you, but I want to roll to see how badly I fuck it up. I'm gonna roll athletics to throw Sabrina a Tangelo as a snack without hitting her in the face. I rolled a 9.
I mean, this sounds like a callback to the snowball fight from like episode 2.
You think we remember that?
I do. I'm on this show with you.
I know. There's just a lot of things that happen. There's bats, there's more bats, there's monsters. Listen.
I thought you said baths, as in bathing, and...
You see, what you discover
What?
is every episode of Dice Funk is the Hot Springs episode. It's just how it is.
Every scene is in a different hot spring.
Well, but it's just like... My memory of it is so bad that could have been true.
Unless we specifically say there's no hot spring in the scene, there is one. It's always implied. Please, for the love of God, Sabrina, react to being hit in the face with a piece of fruit.
Come on, give me something.
Why?
I just thought you wanted a snack.
Do you normally throw food at people's face?
Well, no, but I've got bad aim.
So then why would you do that then?
It felt like it could lighten the mood. I don't know. Just trying to have some fun.
I really don't think you thought that one through all the way, and it's just mean. It's just really mean.
I know, I was trying to give you a healthy snack. Like when you go to a soccer game and the kids all get orange slices.
So you threw it at my face to do that?
No, I was aiming for your hands, but I'm small and weak at throwing.
Well, I feel very offended, and I'm hurt.
I'm sorry. Would you like a sloth kiss?
Not really.
Maybe it'll heal you of that bad attitude. Hey. No, I'm just kidding. Are you alright? You seem weird.
You're weird.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm always weird.
Where's this thing?
I feel like maybe we should have, investigated this more rather than just going in blindly, but, YOLO.
Can I attempt a knowledge check to see if I know anything that might eat fruit like this?
I'm sorry, anything that might eat fruit. That's so many things.
So 19 succeeds. Sabrina, could you ask a more specific question?
So, do I have a general idea if there's something that we're hunting or if there's something specifically that kind of eats these fruits in this area?
You succeeded, so I'll say you think that just walking up to the trees and just standing there with your thumb up your butt, probably not successful. Making yourself obvious, you won't be able to observe any phenomena, probably.
You gotta build blinds.
What? Like a tree blind for hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so if I can modify that, I would say all the gore fields are like different crops, all planted in this blood red soil in like different regions, right? So you went by potatoes earlier, you went by, I think, wheat and cabbages. You're on your way to the orange grove, but on the way there, I'd say like there's a cornfield that has really good, is really good cover if you want to hide amongst the rows.
Oh, okay. I was like, can I rub mud on myself?
Okay, you want to become Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of Predator.
Well, because Sabrina can turn invisible, right? You have visibility.
I do. I also have a pretty good
Eventually.
stealth check, but I'm trying
yeah.
to decide if what we're trying to do should be hiding or not.
Yeah, I would say with a 19, you think if you hide in the cornfield next to the grove and observe the trees, that's probably your best chance at figuring out what's going on.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll do that.
All right.
Yeah, so why don't you two describe how you do that and how if your conversation continues as you're kind of wading amongst the corn.
I'm real sorry for hitting you in the face with that citrus fruit earlier. I really didn't mean to.
It's fine. It'll go away.
Do you like citrus? I can peel it for you.
I'm not hungry.
Well, there's also juice. You can just like drink the juice. You want some juice?
I'm not thirsty.
Okay, well, if you need anything, I'm here. I'm just gonna be drinking juice and petting Stuart and setting up cornfield blinds, which sounds like it's a blind to hunt the cornfield, but it's a blind within the cornfield. I know it's confusing.
Did they used to make mazes of these?
Mazes of what?
Of corn. I read it in a book once. They had labyrinths and a minotaur in them.
Oh, not. I thought corn was like crop circles.
Can they use corn for two things?
You know, I'm surprised every day by the things I learn about this curious world. How many uses of corn there are.
Corn's stupid. It's rough and it gets everywhere.
Fuck off.
I hate it. It's, you know, like I eat popcorn, I eat cornbread, but like, get that yellow stuff out of my face.
So this is an inside joke between me and Lauren. The audience is not getting, which is Lauren's a notorious corn hater.
I hate corn.
She hates corn.
I like things made with corn, but like corn itself, I hate it. I hate it. I don't know why. I hate it.
Okay, so you're waiting in this. You're waiting in these amongst these rows and discussing all the uses for corn, which I thought was going to go in one direction and really didn't end up anywhere near there. So why don't you all roll perception to see what you
What
see?
did you think it was gonna go to?
I don't know. I mean, I do. I'm just not going to say it.
You know, maybe a conversation
Hey, I
about the
crit.
difficult moral choice that needs working through of how you're going to deal with the two things that apparently you have to choose between.
Laura, thank you for knowing what we're doing.
What?
All right, so
I rolled a 9.
yeah, Sabrina, you absolutely crit. So what's happening here is Lola's trying to build herself a little corn fort. Presumably
I am. That's exactly what it is.
she like loses the plot of trying to build a blind to watch the neighboring orange grove, and instead just builds herself a little fun house. Just starts playing house with Stuart and Sloth Green.
No, it's supposed to be like a bunker.
Yeah, I was thinking like a little tree house, like you're playing house in the yard.
Like a little concrete bunker I made.
Oh no, okay.
It's like a hut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the creature can't
I
get
was
in
like,
my
what
hut.
the fuck are you guys talking about a blind?
Oh.
Now it makes a lot more sense.
Everyone on the show, I would have assumed Chris had the most experience hunting. I guess I was wrong.
No, in PA it's a big thing, but I never went on it.
Yeah, that's why.
There were too many Pokemon to catch. You don't need a blind to catch them.
Sabrina, you crit, so I'm going to give you everything, which is that while Lola is doing this, you know that this isn't going to be particularly helpful, especially because she's not paying attention. And I think you just climb up on it to see across the rows, and you see not near the grove, but behind you, rustling through the corn, there is a creature coming near you. Not immediately pouncing, but it's clearly reacting to your presence. And because you crit, you have full authority to do whatever you want in this situation.
God damn it, as if it's a corn golem, I'm gonna kill you.
I would like to use a stealth check to get closer without alerting it that I'm there so I can get kind of a closer look before it's right on top of us.
All right, you crit, so you get advantage.
I got a 20 for the first roll and a 21 for the second. So 21.
Yeah, I mean, you succeed as much as anyone can succeed. So Sabrina has control of this situation. Tell me how you stealth.
All right, so I want to get down all fours. I want to shift through the cornfield like solid snake style. I know there's a word for it, but I'm just going to call it that, despite having never played any of those games.
I was gonna say like a dog.
So I'm going to get
Like a wolf?
real close in there, and I want to like use like 2 fingers. I want to peel back a small section of corn. Not enough, not to disrupt anything. Just enough to spy on this little guy.
Yeah, so Sabrina, you leave Lola to her little corn hut, and you go on a stealth mission into the corn maze. You sneak around behind some plants, kneel down, pull apart a little corn veil, and you find yourself looking at a small animal. This animal has half of the features of a fox and half of the features of a chicken.
Ah!
A Chox, if
I
you will.
love it!
A Ficken?
A Ficken or a Chox? Let's decide as a family.
Chox sounds nasty.
Why not both? It's a Ficken Chox.
A Chox sounds like a sex thing.
Ficken really sounds like it's a slur or something. Like in my mind, I feel like
Is
it's
that
offensive
the choice
something.
we have? A slur and a sex thing?
Well, I mean, you always pick the sex thing.
Yeah, I guess. But
Yeah, sorry. On Dice Funk, we don't really truck with slurs, so it's gonna have to be.
Chox.
It's gonna have to be Chox.
How cute is it? 1 to 10.
Yeah, so I think it's actually pretty cute. It's got like little chicken legs, a fluffy chicken butt and chicken tail, and little like tiny little wings. But then from like up there, it's like mostly fox, like fox head.
So it's just like a duck with a dog snout instead of a duck bill and big ears.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you've substituted duck for chicken. Chicken was working fine.
Because they have longer noses.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be more. They're both birds. What's wrong with me?
I don't know. What I'm really thinking about though is the noises it would make, because chickens make very distinct noises, but the only noises I've ever seen foxes make are terrible screams.
They're like the same noises as chickens make a lot of times.
Chickens have the same noises as foxes, you're saying?
When they're screaming, yeah. When they're like being rowdy.
I did not
It's
know
very
that.
similar.
I feel like there's a song that could help.
Fuck off.
No.
Fuck off.
No, this is not 2000, what, fucking 11? I don't know.
We're going to need a fuck off counter. How many times in this episode I'm going to say fuck off?
So is he covered in, when I'm not there, but is he covered in juice?
Covered in juice? No. Sabrina,
He's been stealing all the oranges.
you succeeded on yourself, so you sneak up behind this little guy, and you see that this thing actually has the perfect blend of predator and prey instincts. So it is both stalking you, but also incredibly alert to run at the slightest moment's notice. So it is like very low to the ground. If you hadn't crit and then crushed your stealth roll, like it could slip away from you, but you've snuck around behind it, and it's like very stealthily watching Lola build her little corn hut with its like beady little fox eyes, but you see its little chicken legs are like ready to run at a moment's notice. So it doesn't actually seem dangerous at all.
All right. I would like to cast Sleep.
Yes.
And I'm going to cast it at a 2nd level spell. I want to try to knock it unconscious before we can have anything be a big issue. So
I was about to say throw a blanket on it.
41.
Oh yeah, the Chox immediately keels over and falls asleep. Just keels over.
Then I will grab Lola's attention by throwing, I don't know, whatever fruit we were talking about, a big ear of corn at her.
Yeah, just start pelting her with corn. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw a big thing of corn at her and just say,
A fantasy of yours, Austin.
"Is this one of your animals? Can't you talk to it? Maybe it knows what's going on."
Oh, look at that guy. Look at that little guy.
Yeah, Sabrina like walks out of the corn just holding this thing by its feet and it's just dangling its body.
I'm picking up like a baby.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with it.
I'm gonna give the Chox my hut.
Okay, you put the Chox inside the hut and now he has a little house.
Yeah, so he feels safer.
Or she. I
But
feel like
there's also-
the first 2 animal companions you have are male. Do you want to have a female animal too?
Yeah, because the cat dragon was a lady, but I can't. She left. She big.
The cat dragon was part of your conduit, which is like once per long rest, you can summon an animal to help. This is just an animal in the environment.
All right. Her name is Sandra.
Okay, cool.
And this is her house, and there's like a little square window so she can view the orchards to see what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're all safe.
Okay, so Lola and Sabrina, why don't you two work on your plan for the Grove? Let's cut over to everyone else. I guess, Chris, you really can't take a break because you are going to be another character. This is going to be really on Lauren.
I just wanted to do a stakeout and put an animal in a house.
So last we left the rest of the party, you were talking to Charlie, the leader of the moles here in the Gorefields, about your plans for what Amy thinks is a rebellion, but it's actually kind of like a double cross rebellion.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a short term versus long term. Rebellion versus revolution.
So the three of you, that's Vindrass, Khorton, and Gentleman Bramwell, are working in the sugarcane fields with the moles, just macheteing up this cane. As Charlie kind of goes over the situation, she says that they haven't been just sitting around waiting for a savior to fall from the sky. There are active pockets of resistance against the God King all over Wormwood. They're just being very careful because a number of years ago there was an Aethar rebellion, and the God King just murdered all of them. It was very bad. They were crushed, and just no one wants a repeat of that. So they're being very careful.
Well, yeah, because nobody wants to get caught. You want it to be a success, don't you?
Yeah, but it's going to make it a lot more difficult for you to help us because you're going to have to be tactful about it. And considering your, let's say, proclivities, you don't seem like the tactful sort.
I can be tactful.
Charlie looks over at Vindrass for confirmation.
I have never known a more tactful person in my entire life. What do I have to roll to sell that?
Deception. It sounds like a lie to me.
I just took it as she didn't know a whole lot of people.
I mean, it's a bit of both. Bit of both. That's a 13.
Actions will speak a lot louder than words. What you're going to need to do is to convince the other leaders of the resistance of your intentions. Whether or not I believe you is going to ultimately be meaningless if the rest of the leaders don't believe you. So
who do I need to speak with?
Well, the main pockets of rebellion are the moles here in the Gorefield who work for the Duke, who have our freedom. There are the bat folk of the Glass Forest. There are the insect folk of Harp City, and then the Tarek of Absinthia.
Well, we already have some pretty good relationships among most of those groups. The Tarek really are the only ones we haven't already had some kind of interaction with. I think this is going to be easier than you expect.
Yeah, so she doesn't know about the journey you've gone on, but you actually have already gotten the Batfolk as allies. You probably need to talk to Diana again to confirm that, but I don't think you really need to roll for the fact that she is the leader of the Batfolk resistance.
Yeah.
You did not make contact with any resistance leaders in Harp City, but you have been there, and so that's
and
something.
We do know, and we'd know where to go. We'd know how to find them.
You have done some legwork there. You've met the leader of the moles in the Gorefields, Charlie. You're speaking with her currently at this moment. And you haven't been to Absinthia. That was the other main location on the map you got in the library. So once you go there, you will meet the Tarek, who I don't know if any of you in character know what that word means. Maybe a history roll?
Sure. That seems like a good idea. I like history rolls.
12.
Roll 20 has been historically so, thoughtful. 15.
Bramwell quit. Hold on. Can I say that again? Bramwell quit. No, hold on. That's bad.
Are you okay, bud?
Bramwell crit. GB crit. My dude ball crit.
I'm going to leave all of that in just in case we need it for your medical diagnosis at a later date.
It's not the first time.
Okay, so with a crit and a 15, the party succeeds extremely well, and I'm going to put an image of a Tarek into the Roll20. For the audience, this is a Dark Sun species. They are kind of like the setting's orc equivalent. Dark Sun has a lot of like what if regular D&D, but gritty, and this is kind of gritty orcs. They have a
because orcs needed to be gritty.
Yeah, they are like hairless humanoids, extremely muscular. They have kind of pointed ears, but they have an almost like ape-like quality. It's you know the recent Planet of the Apes remakes. It's like that level of intelligent, super strong ape kind of creature.
Damn, they blew it all up.
They really did. But they are considered like the premier physical threat of Dark Sun. Like this is the kind of thing, except for maybe giants, that like if you don't want to get into a arm wrestling contest with a Tarek, which I'm probably mispronouncing. I don't know anyone that's said it out loud since like the 90s, but that's Tarek. And that's apparently the species that you're going to need to make inroads with in Absinthia, which is the other main location in Wormwood, to your knowledge. So now you kind of know the lay of the land as far as like all the political situations. If you get all these people's trust and coordination, you may be able to lead a successful coup against the God King.
Well, it's good to have a goal.
Yeah, up until now, the main goal of the campaign has basically been find Sabrina's mom, and then the cult stuff was kind of like a nebulous, maybe we'll figure it out along the way. But now you kind of have a more concrete goal. If this is a Ubisoft,
We're figuring it out along the way. Yeah.
If this is a Ubisoft game, your journal would update, and it would have like 4 sub-missions, like gain the trust of the moles, gain the trust of the Tarek, gain the trust of the bat folk, and gain the trust of the insect folk. And it's all under the subheading, which is like God King coup.
Of course, if it were a Ubisoft game, we'd be complicit in a system of worker abuses.
Yeah. Also, we now have an excuse to drag Sabrina on a quest and go, no, we went across the whole fucking country looking for your shit, now you gotta come help us with our shit.
In her defense, she did already do one of your things for you.
Yeah, she did break the white glass demon. But yeah, so Sabrina also will open a lot of doors just because as a royal, she will give the rebellion legitimacy, and how you want to handle that is up to you. But it's a lot easier to do a coup if someone in the line of succession is on your side than if you are just randos.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize we're going to get so Game of Thrones here. I didn't know I was going to say line of succession on my podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to start building up a sigil. It's going to be a capybara, and he's resting in a hot spring with an orange on his head.
All right, so that's what you're talking about. Do you have any questions for Charlie? She is the kind of coordinator here of the mole arm of the rebellion. So any questions you have about this particular quest are best answered by her.
Are there any, like, secret code words we can drop to be like, hey, are you chill? Are you down with the resistance? So that we don't have to just walk up to people who might not be down with the resistance and go, hey, are you down with the resistance?
Yeah, some means of identification would probably be good to have.
That's a good question. So, what you guys want to brainstorm with me an answer to that question? I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to be 100% honest, but this might be a good opportunity for collaborative storytelling. What do you think would be a good way to identify members of the resistance?
Well, there could be a passphrase, like a code phrase that's used by members, like shibboleth.
What if it's like One Piece in the Alabasta arc where there are shapeshifters, so everyone draws an X on their arm and then wraps it up in paper, so you show the X as a sign of your friendship.
All right, someone reset the One Piece counter. There's 0 days since One Piece reference.
Can we just take every good idea from One Piece? There's so many. And then there's the bad ones. Let's not do those. But the good ones.
I mean, I like the idea of something more material than a passphrase, because this is a world in which mind-reading magic is like level 1. A child can read a mind, basically. So that kind of information is very easily gained. Something physical does have an appeal, but I would have like a layer of security to it. It's like you could only draw the One Piece X if you've done like a material good for the rebellion. Like if you've, destroyed some kind of imperial property or defended an independent village or something that grants some kind of magical, it's like a component of a spell, right? It's like you can only have the spell cast on you if you've done something for the rebellion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really nice idea.
So obviously Sabrina will qualify. She destroyed the white glass demon. I think my thought here is that this might actually reveal that Khorton has not materially helped the rebellion so far. So yes, okay, good. I love this. You know what this is leading to? This is all organic improv here, baby. I hope you like this, audience. So yeah, you ask if there's any way that you can identify yourself to other members of the rebellion. Charlie says anyone who has helped the independence movement so far, that's part of the components to a secret shibboleth spell that the leaders can cast on you. She could do this if you've done something, and you're like, yeah, cast it on us, baby. And she tries, and it fails because none of you have done.
Wait.
Yes.
Surely there is something that's been done for one of the resistance groups. The taking down of the big metal golem.
Yeah, that's only Sabrina was the one who broke the white glass demon.
Yes, but that's not what the handed out to everyone prophecy says.
Yes, I mean, spell components don't work on rumors, they work on truth. This is interesting because I think later it would work when Sabrina gets back, it'll work on Sabrina. But I think the three of you, the spell fails. And so Charlie says, like, so you three need to go out there into the world and actually do something to thwart the God King and then come back to me if you want my seal of approval.
Oh, in my head, we all helped.
No, we made it worse, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Or I did.
So, okay, this is very interesting. So the three of you, why don't you discuss like ways that you could materially help the rebellion?
We could provide weapons and services to them, perhaps training as well. I have experience in that sort of thing. I am somewhat of a master at arms myself.
Maybe we could wash carriages and, use the money that we collect.
Oh my god.
So this is a very juicy suggestion Bramwell just made, because arming the independence movement will be very helpful. You know what weapons are made out of?
Metal?
You know who was a slave in an iron mine?
That is true.
Khorton, Gentleman Bramwell says, yeah, we could arm the rebellion. And I think somewhere in the pit of your stomach, you have this awful realization that you could lead the party to the iron mine where an entire independence movement worth of metal is, but you will have to confront your past.
Ugh.
That sucks.
That does suck.
Uh-huh. Do you say that, or do you just not?
Well, if we're gonna arm them, that would mean we'd need weapons, right?
Yes. Do you know of a place that we can find?
Oh, hang on. I'm just sort of working this out because, I'm sure you have an armory where we could just raid that armory, just sort of waltz in and take the weapons and bring them back, right?
That would be inside the moving castle that will kill us on sight.
Right. So we'd need
probably a safer option.
Some other different, perhaps less guarded explicitly by our most threatening enemies, kind of.
Yes, another location if it were out there.
Right, some with raw material, maybe.
Like a mine, maybe.
Right,
A significant mine.
It'd have to be significant. Significant to whom?
Well, I guess significance is individual to the person, would it not be?
But
to us, it'd be useful for the material goods, but for others, perhaps the emotional stake involved would be more significant.
What a dumb thing we're doing.
So Khorton looks down and sort of traces around in the dirt. Okay, so let's say hypothetically that I know of a mine that's full of iron and relatively not that well guarded. It's a family operation.
That sounds excellent.
No.
Of course you would know somewhere with your wonderful, wonderful amounts of knowledge. From the good, good life you have led.
My wisdom is vast.
That's so mean.
Yeah, so Khorton sort of draws out in the dirt a map, sort of tracing his path backwards from when he'd been to Harp City previously, which is where he would have wandered in from. That would give direction to the mine. We're gonna need everybody, though.
Okay, so Vindrass and Bramwell, Khorton reveals the mine to you. Do you have any questions about his past or his reticence?
Where did you discover this mine?
I'm sure it was.
my God.
I'm sure it was on one of Khorton's many, many religious pilgrimages. I'm sure.
Well, let's just say that I had a little run in there. I don't know how welcome I'll be on my return.
What sort of trouble should we be expecting?
I bet they wouldn't even recognize me now.
Can I roll insight on Khorton?
Do I need to...
Yeah, I mean, he can roll deception against your insight if we want to do this.
Yeah, let's do this. 11.
I got a 6. I botched. Khorton's always right. I don't know what we're talking about.
I got 24.
Finally!
The one time the roll 20 sided with Khorton was to keep juicy information out of the game. Okay, fine, be that way. Fucking punk-ass website. Eat my ass.
Oh, it knows it's gonna come out when it's opted for maximum drama.
Oh god, yeah. No, the longer this stays bubbling, the more it's like, oh, you kept fucking secrets, huh?
Yeah, I wonder how this will affect other people's view of him, because I guess it was never clear to me if Vindrass knew your entire backstory, because she said how she met you is you're running from a mob. She thought they were admirers, but they were after you. But, I mean, it could have at some point you told her your past, but now it's confirmed you have not.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
the impression I've always had of their relationship is that Khorton has always been very vague and rose-tinted glasses about everything before the two of them met.
Yeah. He's really only ever talked about like the 6 to 8 months that he's not been in slavery. But he's embellished all of the stories of what has happened in that time to the degree that, he can just toss one in.
Yeah, they could be a lifetime's worth of stories. I don't know.
Right.
Vindrass has a very short lifespan. Her reference point for what's a life's worth of stories is a bit skewed.
Well, and he doesn't actually he can fuck with the chronology and not say when these things happened. So it could be years apart, when there could have been a couple days between the time he stubbed his toe and that time that, and he had this crazed revelation, and that time he got into an argument with a man over whether or not he had been eyeing his wife. It's, constant. He's a very busy man.
So all of this could come to a very interesting conclusion. I noticed that in the first episode, Khorton, you said you had been a former slave, and that your whole cult thing was kind of a way of dealing with the potential fallout of that. And I've noticed the audience is not very sympathetic to that. They've never seemed to think like, oh, this is clearly a traumatized man trying to deal with the abuse he suffered. They're just like, this is a weird sex pervert and I hate him. So I wonder if when this is revealed, Vindrass will be like, oh, you poor baby, you've been through so much, or just be like, oh, so you lied and you're a gross asshole.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I have to say, I find the conversation that goes on in the audience about Khorton really interesting. They do not like him, which is fine. Like, I get it, but it is interesting because the comparison that I drew is that in season 5 we made a cult, didn't call it that, and everyone loved it.
I do love it.
And in season 7, we start with something that is explicitly a cult, and all of a sudden, it's evil and creepy. It's weird the words you use.
I was gonna say, in season 4, everyone found the corporatocracy very depressing. It was like, oh, the corporations rule over you, and there's no hope. And I said at the time, I was like, if I said this was an evil kingdom ruled by an evil king, people were like, yeah, get his ass. But if you change you change kingdom to corporation and king to CEO, and people are like, well, you can't fight that. That's inevitable.
And a lot of people have a lot harsher opinions on drugs than you would think. We learned from season 4. I'm not still bitter.
You sound totally cool with it.
Yeah, no, I'm not bothered.
Everyone has to have their turn doing the character that the audience goes, not sure about you.
Oh, yeah.
So Lola Beans and Sabrina, what plan have you reached with your new friend, the Chox?
Gonna stake out with the Chox. She's part of our gang now. Can I have her?
Yeah, would you like to make her one of your animal companions?
Yeah, I would, because she's little and she's half chicken, half fox. That seems very useful.
Yeah, you can equip her like a new sword.
Hell yeah. Let me put... What did I say her name was? Sandra?
Yeah, I remember that specifically because it's my mother's name.
Oh, well, now I feel weird about it.
Yeah, it is weird.
What about Helen?
No, it's too late. You've already done it. I've already been traumatized. There's no point in taking it back.
Oh, well, you did have to tell me.
Okay, so all of your animal companions have mechanical consequences. So obviously, Stuart can attack with his quills. Soft Green can cure wounds with his healing buzzes. The Chox actually allows you to cast Hunter's Mark without using a spell slot.
Ooh.
Hunter's Mark is like the premier ranger spell. It's the thing that the game presumes you will use in every encounter. I want to say you've used it how many times this season, Lauren?
0.
Interesting. So when you use that at the beginning of a fight, it's a bonus action, so it doesn't take away from the amount of arrows you can shout, and it makes all your arrows do more damage. So it's basically like a cool super arrow thing you can do.
So here's a fun thing I just noticed: is all of the animals that travel with me on the daily, they all start with S.
Really? Sloth Green, Stuart, and Sandra.
Sloth Green and Sandra, and it's backwards alphabetical order apparently too.
Interesting. So now that you have a third animal ability in combat, which is that you can cast Hunter's Mark with with Sandra, the Chox, and that's that kind of the flavor of that is as a pure combination of prey and predator. This thing is very honed to know what a prey animal will do and how to exploit it. It can basically like cut off escape routes and intimidate and just otherwise bamboozle your opponent so that you can get perfect shots.
I'm here for it. How am I going to carry her? Maybe she'll sit on my head.
Okay.
Like the top of my hat.
Yeah. Okay. So you put Sandra up on top of your hat.
Yeah, she's an extra lookout.
It doesn't change it all mechanically, but I like to think that Sabrina is very clearly on edge, and it is very evident by the fact that the faintest sound of ice cracking just seems to be ambient all around her.
Well, that's worrisome.
Okay, actually, here's what I want to do. If this is just a matter of laying in wait in the corn and seeing what happens, why don't you both roll me Constitution to deal with the stress and the fatigue of the stakeout? That's how I want to handle this.
I want to flat fuck Friday it. I'm still gonna roll Constitution, but like I'm fully pancaked on the ground, like a cat.
I rolled a 15.
Crit.
Well, all right. So this has been a very crit-heavy episode, huh?
I'm flatter than any fuck has ever been before.
All right. So Sandra is perched on your head. Sabrina is hiding behind the cornhouse. You all are ready for this ambush. It gets later in the evening. The sun starts to set here, which if you had failed might have affected your ability to effectively carry out the stakeout. But you crit, so you absolutely succeed. I think with your honed animal instincts, you hear the distant noise that I would characterize as a kind of hum is the closest. It's very deep though.
Is it a bug thing?
Well, you crit, so I would say that you know exactly where to go to investigate what it is.
Okay, where do we go?
You lead the way.
Let's go. We're following this bumble. Let's go.
What'd you say?
I said bumble. I meant to say rumble.
A bumble rumble?
A rumble in the bumble. No, that'd be
something
something inside. It'd be like if a bee ate some food that didn't agree with it.
There'd be a
That's
rumble
the
and a bumble.
Yeah. I hear a noise, and so we're gonna go get it. Everybody follow me. All 4 of you. There's 4 now. Well, 3 animals and a white wolf, but
Well, yeah, white wolf. I mean, that's an animal.
that's an animal, so it's yeah.
Okay, so Sabrina and Lola, you finally leave your stakeout position. I was going to give you exhaustion if you had failed on this roll to do a stakeout, because that's how stakeouts are. They're long and boring and you get tired, but you both succeeded and we got a crit. So you're both refreshed from your little lay down in the field. You sneak into the grove.
Running off that new animal high.
Yep. Also, I guess I should have said we didn't really paint this picture when you bonded with the Sandra, the Chox, that there was that big explosion. Mm-hmm. That like ripples through the corn that happened in the glass forest with the bumble sloth.
Yeah, I think we snooted. I snooted the Chox. I snooted Sandra's snoot. And it's over. We did a little snoot boop, and now we're friends forever.
And so you make your way into the grove, and as you go, you can see like the tops of these trees are like destroyed. Of just huge clumps of them are missing. There's just like broken branches everywhere. There's all this rotten fruit on the ground where it wasn't ripe. A good amount of them have been destroyed, so it's obvious why the Duke has a problem with it. And you're making your way towards this humming noise as the night begins in earnest. So it's like getting darker and darker as you make your way towards the hum in the distance. And it's a little spooky. And I was going to play it up more, but you crit. So you really, I think, Lola, have more confidence as you walk towards it and peer out from behind a tree and see an unmistakable shape at the edge of the grove.
What is it? How big is this baby?
Very, very tall.
It's a baby? Is it a baby?
It's very, very, very tall. Taller than the trees.
Is it a baby, though?
Some would say it's the tallest land animal.
Is it a really big giraffe?
It's a really big giraffe.
What is your hybrid for the giraffe?
Oh no, she's caught on to my game.
What gift are you giving me?
As you look at this giraffe, it's clearly a giraffe, taller than the trees, munching away at the top of these orange trees. It turns to look at you, or in your direction. It doesn't actually spot you because you crit, but let's say it looks in your direction. And you're surprised to see it look in your direction with not 1, not 2, but 3 heads.
Giraffe Hydra!
It is a Hydra giraffe.
Oh, I love him.
And so it is simultaneously munching on 3 different trees.
Oh, gosh. So we just need to find this baby some more trees.
Balls in your court. This is an enormous animal. I don't know if you're aware, but giraffes are actually extremely dangerous.
So if you cut off one of its heads...
No, Conrad, no.
I'm just saying more heads.
No.
See, this is why I wish that Lola wasn't here, because this is a really cool combat situation, but I don't think Lola's going to let that happen.
Oh, not at all.
It does get more heads, Lauren. It's very cool.
I know, but don't chop his heads off. That's so mean.
Okay.
Maybe it likes it. You should ask.
I'm ready to yell it to the giraffe. Hey, you like getting your head cut off?
2 of the heads turn to look at you. 1 continues eating the tree. And the loud humming noise ceases. I actually was listening to a bunch of giraffe noises earlier. They make a bunch of noises. They do kinds of grunts and kind of coughs. There's a cough noise giraffes do. Very interesting.
Oh, they sound like me when I wake up. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They're not particularly vocal in the wild, but they do make some noises, including this weird hum that you've been hearing. But they stop, and it's looking at you now.
Hey there, partners. How are you doing this fine evening? Was your hat tip?
Animal handling check?
Which I should have better. Well, it's positive at least. I rolled an 8.
You're a ranger.
Fuck! I'm a bad ranger. The only reason I'm a ranger is so I can play with animals. God.
The giraffe just turns back to the tree and continues eating. I think with an 8, I'll say, Lola, this thing does not particularly like you.
So we're trying to not destroy the grove, though. But what if... Can we trick the Hydra to thinking every time it goes to a tree, it gets eaten up? by Humanura. Like he just devours the tree in front of it until the giraffe just gets fed up and leaves.
So that sounds like either deception or performance to use Humanura to trick the giraffe hydra.
Okay.
Or we could intimidate. Do we have pots and pans we can bang?
I will roll deception.
Okay.
I rolled a 21.
Yeah, okay. So Lola, you roll up on this giraffe. You're the god of animals. You think you can handle this. And the hydra just doesn't like your fucking vibe, dude. You're just a little lizard, and you roll up thinking you're hot shit telling it what to do. And it just basically turns its back on you like, fuck off, I'm hungry. Like, kiss my giant butt. And then Sabrina, tell us your plan.
So Sabrina's going to have Humanura, the carbon golem who walks around in a football outfit, go up and basically devour trees that the giraffe hydra is trying to eat, and basically just remove their food source from them. And hopefully after enough times, the hydra is just going to be annoyed that something weird is happening and just leave.
So if I can offer a slight alteration to the scene, I think a Humanura being able to destroy that many trees that quickly may like introduce an element to the character that's like a little too powerful for what we're going for. What do you think about, so if as like in the library, if Humanura like slides out of the football uniform and into the bark of the trees and into the pulp and can kind of puppeteer the trees, so every time the hydra goes to take a bite, the tree like moves away, like pulls back.
Yeah, like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a rabbit season, duck season thing where every time the hydra goes to take a bite, Humanura pulls away.
Yeah.
Until eventually it just becomes like extremely frustrated and leaves and just figures that like these trees are not.
These trees are annoying. Slapstick is dead. I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a 21, so you can succeed on this. Why don't you paint me a picture? I would think this takes a while, right? Like this is like a couple hours of really gaslighting this giraffe, which is fun to say.
Yeah.
And I want kind of Lola as the god of animals who has failed here. I do want some like texture on your emotional state as well. Watching Sabrina basically just solve this problem single-handedly or double-handedly. She has her baby.
Well, I mean, it's, we'll win some, we'll lose some. Not every animal's gonna be your friend. Not every animal's gonna like you. But, you win some, you lose some. Which I already said, but you win some, you lose some.
So I like to think Sabrina is basically kind of directing all of this. And for flavor, she uses football plays that she wouldn't know, but I would think would be really funny to direct Humanura to doing it. So it's like, why slant, sluggo. And then, that helps to beat the giraffe because it's a dumb giraffe. Can't figure things out. Humanura's too fast. He has the all-time single game sack record for the New York Giants, and he did it against the Philadelphia Eagles because fuck them.
Okay, does Sabrina respond at all to Lola clearly sad in this moment?
So I think Sabrina sees Lola and at first is a little annoyed because she's like, I thought you were the god of animals. Why can't you, like, in her mind, Lola can just talk to animals. And that's what she keeps operating under. But when she sees that she's, kind of withdrawing, she's going to say, yeah, nice job. I think we can go back now.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the assistance. I needed some help.
No, I was really just looking to get Humanura some food.
Oh, yeah. Two birds, one stone. Except don't kill birds with stones. But two in the bush? I don't know. I lost my bird analogies here.
You have to keep them in a safe place. Always remember the way they are. Like your car keys, you do the pats. Car keys, wallet, bird allergies.
Did you say bird allergies?
Everyone has them.
Bird allergies?
If you bring it up, it sounds weird.
I mean,
You just roll straight past it. People say
I
things that are wrong sometimes.
I literally have a
doesn't mean
bird
you have to
on my
point it out.
face right now, and I'm not having an allergic reaction. But if you thought I was allergic to birds, you're just gonna sit here and let me rub my face in a bird?
People say things wrong all the time. You know?
I do. Okay, I do know. Well, let's go back.
Well, yeah, we did it. The Hydra's gone then, so nothing should be eating any more of the Duke's whatevers, fruits.
That'll never come up again. That's fine. We can pretend it did. The what giraffe? I don't know. Well, no, you were really cool with the giraffe, so we tell everybody you were cool with the giraffe, but.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to also remember where we are. We're at the Gorefields.
Yeah, I think the main thing that you would think to do right now would be to return to Amy, because you're kind of acting as if you're her agent and you're getting, the moles on your side. So if you want to report back, that seems like it makes sense.
It does make sense. I mean, I don't want to talk to her, but
Well, you can just have Vindrass talk to her on your behalf. be your agent.
No, Vindrass is not the liar that Khorton is. He's gonna have to do that himself.
So I think Vindrass, Khorton, and Gentleman Bramwell go back to the warehouse where they last saw Amy and go to her office, and she's not there.
Let's investigate.
Yeah, let's have a look around her office.
Let's split up, gang, and look for clues.
Roll investigation.
15.
19.
Gentleman Bramwell rolled a 14.
15 and 19, the party succeeds pretty handily. I would say that you look around the office. I said before, you see a change of clothes and it's like some food and drink in here. Not that she's living here, but that she does spend an unhealthy amount of time in here. You don't know where she lives, which is an interesting wrinkle I mentioned last episode, and I will repeat now. She's not here currently. You look through her stuff. Most of it's just like boring, like amounts of how much grain is leaving, how much money's coming in. An interesting thing you find with your success is some paperwork. Basically, the paper is rare, so it's like it's pretty shitty. All things said, but it looks like a list of names and different positions by them. So it'll say like Khorton, spiritual advisor; Gentleman Bramwell, captain of the guard. You'll notice that Sabrina's name is not on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's next to Vindrass' name?
That's a good question. I think maybe she has a couple of different things. What kind of things would you be interested in? This isn't something like I'm sneaking up on you. I'm asking you, what do you think?
Well, but it is one of those things that when there is a power vacuum filled by a family member, they have a tendency to eliminate anybody who represents a threat to their position.
Yeah. You don't want someone around who could usurp you and take your place.
Right, because that's how you got there.
Yeah.
You know it works.
But Lola and Vindrass, do you have parts, cabinet positions in the administration that you would enjoy?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Gamekeeper.
Fair enough.
Like, obviously.
I would assume some kind of medical position probably for Vindrass. That would work with her skill set.
Oh my god. Imagine Vindrass in like a little candy striper outfit. That'd be cute.
A surgeon general.
Surgeon General, yeah, it's like a Vindrass's warning on all the cigarettes. Smoking this make you look very cool, says Vindrass.
Don't worry. If I need to do surgery on someone who's got like a thick carapace, I'll just get the axe baloney out. We'll get right through that.
Oh god.
But yeah, so that's what I'll give you for basically tossing Amy's office, is that she seems to be on the up and up with the team and is going to reward you for your effort, except Sabrina.
Also, assuming that we don't just steal the boat and ditch her.
What you do with that information is up to you. I can't control how this campaign goes down. I'm 100% always expecting it to turn into a clown show at the drop of a hat.
Well, that's good to know. But doesn't answer the question as to where she is.
Can I take Amy's little notebook thing?
If you want to take it, you can. Obviously, the consequences of that are she's going to notice it's gone, and you don't really... I was going to say you don't really need it, but maybe you will. Who the fuck do I know?
I was going to say, because I'm kind of curious the names of other people. Like, is Charlie's name on there?
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet she has it. She just has it like mole HR. It's like really thoughtless. The thing about Amy is she like definitely thinks she's doing good, but in a way that sucks. So she's like, yeah, she'll take care of mole issues, whatever that is.
That seems really familiar.
like is young on. Like I'm just trying to identify if these people are on there. I was only going to keep it for the idea of like it would be useful if we need to convince people to side against Amy to be like, hey, she doesn't even have you in her fucking business plan going forward. All right.
Yeah, I mean, so the important thing for me was that Sabrina wasn't there, but if you wanted to go through, it'd be like Staples is the fucking general of the army, and Young is
Which
the
really only just makes the case for Sabrina even worse. Like, if Staples is on this list and Sabrina is not...
Like, come on, man.
Young is in charge of the DMV.
Of course he is.
Zur is gonna be
Prime Minister being fucking butthurt.
He's gonna be in charge of men's rights issues.
No.
And Weaver is gonna be in the fucking Chill Dude Association. He's gonna be in charge the FDA. He's gonna
FDA, but like good.
I'm starting to wonder if these are real cabinet positions.
Someday I'll be the Prime Minister being butthurt.
Lauren, didn't you have you had a job at the Chill Dude Association?
What?
I don't know. I was trying to.
What are you talking about?
I was trying to riff with you, and you didn't want it.
Because it makes no sense. It's a bad riff.
Hey! It is never a bad thing for someone to imply you had a job at the Chill Dude Association.
No, the first rule of improv is yes and. The second is don't say that's a bad riff.
Yes, and unless it's dumb.
But if you consider how hard we're laughing right now, I think we both agree that was a great thing to say.
It did all work out. Okay, so you have this list. What do you do about that?
Keep the information. We know what's there, what's not there. That's enough. The last thing we need is for Amy to think that we can't be trusted.
She seems like the type who would, like, tape a hair over, like, the jars and things so she'd tell if anybody went in there.
Oh, I mean, she could very well think that somebody was in the office. And that's not necessarily a problem, but, you know, we could get caught with her property.
This is sort of an odd question, but it's just the way 5e kind of works. Is it possible to roll a perception check to see if there's like a hidden room that we're missing? I'm kind of curious why she doesn't have a room or anything.
I think survival might be the best way to intuit that information.
Okay.
Well, since you're not saying no, maybe there's a hidden room then.
9.
Bramwell rolled a 21.
17.
Okay, here's what I'll say. As you look around, there isn't a hidden room, but a 17 and a 21 does pass. So 21, Bramwell, I'll say you're the one who figures this out, which is some of the dust on the floor isn't dust. It's actually, it seems to be some kind of specific residue of some kind that you recognize as being a biological weapon.
Ooh.
Oh.
There's like ash on your boots, and you like reach down and you touch it, and it like tingles on your finger, and you say to the others what this is. This is a kind of I think you call it smoke melon, which is grown here in the Gore Fields, and it's basically these melons that grow here, and the God King uses his troops mounted on griffins, flying over enemy armies, dropping them, and when they burst, they basically gas enemy troops.
Oh no.
That's
terrible.
That's not good.
So that's being grown here, and with the 21, you succeed in knowing that, and I'd say you could probably follow a trail in some footsteps out of here if you want to do that.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
Yeah.
So Bramwell, you can follow this residue out into the fields and down a dirt road here away from. So there's like different plots. We've talked. There's potatoes, there's corn, there's oranges, there's sugarcane, and then there's like some empty fields, and there's nobody over here, and the roads go in that direction. And I think even a mole like sees you going over there and just yells to the group and says, "Not allowed over there."
Fuck off.
Well, all right then. None of my business. Bye.
So combative.
So the three of you make your way down this road to the basically further into the Gore Fields than the workers seem to go. And at the end of this road, you see a field of these smoke melons and a barn, a big red barn.
Oh, I wonder if there's cows in there. Probably not, but...
Nah.
What would your cow hybrid animal be?
So I have specifically avoided a cow kind of riff because Fallout famously has the Brahmin, and I didn't want to chomp their flavor.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a two-headed cow.
A two-headed cow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, seriously, like a cow bear or something?
Look, 20 years ago it was real exciting. Today it's a two-headed cow.
Why not give something more interesting two heads? Give like a lion two heads.
Like, what if a bear had cow spots?
I also don't want to do a bear riff because this whole hybrid animal thing is literally inspired by the classic D&D creature, the owl bear. So I can't do a bear riff. It already exists in canon.
Oh, if it was, you think of that episode, fucking Avatar?
Well, this is what I was about
When they-
to say. Is you've got to be real careful with your animal hybrids because Avatar did them all.
Yeah, well, no, Bosco with the bear. He's just a regular bear, and everyone was so confused.
And I'm just gonna throw it out there. There's an entire island in One Piece that was nothing but half animal hybrid.
Oh my God,
it was
Chris!
Very earlier on.
Reset the counter.
Gaiman protected it. He was stuck in a treasure chest, but it's okay.
Can you go negative? Like, can there be a negative amount of days that we've gone without talking One Piece? Like,
I'm just saying, I'm not bringing all of them to the show. Austin brought one that was already there.
so it's like for every new One Piece thing you say in the episode, that counts for like back days. So you said like 3 things today, so that covers Monday and Sunday. Like,
What is the cult team, aka the Path of the Joining, want to do about this barn and these smoke melons?
that sounds like a good time if they were not bombs and that kind of smoke
Well,
instead.
I mean, we should probably investigate first to make sure that Amy isn't in there.
Yeah, roll perception.
I got
a 4.
I got a 10.
I got a 6.
Oh, y'all love those melons.
Yeah. Okay, so the party fails her perception, and so you start wandering around these smoke melon fields, looking at these things, and they're very strange for fruit. They're like a grayish color, except for like at the tips where they're red, almost like a fuse, where the stem would be on these like pumpkin-esque big melons, and so they have a very off-putting appearance.
That sounds like a bomb.
I want Gentleman Bramwell to talk to Khorton for a moment. And I want him to basically say, so these weapons here would be monumentally dangerous to any level of combat a rebellion might use. Now, these are perhaps being grown to be used against them, but there are ethical questions at play at using these. They do not discriminate.
No weapon does. It's just a matter of who's holding it.
I would be of the mind to destroy these.
Do any of our party know how to safely
Defuse a bomb?
diffuse a bomb fruit?
No, I don't think so.
We could probably just set fire to the field.
Oh
It's nature, if you want to know more about this vegetable.
I want to know more about this vegetable.
no.
A gourd, I suppose.
I got 7.
God.
15.
I rolled a 4.
Jesus, you guys don't know anything about vegetables.
No.
This is a double whammy failure because you failed your perception, which means I can ambush you, and then you failed your nature, so you don't know anything about these friggin' melons. And I love this because I think with the 4 particularly, Bramwell is like talking to Khorton, being like, "What do you think about the ethical implications of using these?" And Khorton says, "Like, I don't think it's unfair to characterize your answer as like ambiguous. Like, he's basically asking, would you use this?" And you're like, "Well, it depends on, I don't know, maybe." What do you? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it was more a matter of, well, what do you think? Because I don't have a strong feeling about it. It's a tool.
And Bramwell, what do you think?
Bramwell believes in honor, so he would prefer if combat is done in combat as opposed to just dropping something that kills everybody. So I think to him, it's considered gross.
So this double failure means that Bramwell, you think these are bad to use, and you rolled a 4 out of 20, not very good, and so you say to them like, I think Khorton, you said like, oh, we could just burn the field, and you kneel down, and you're like, well, they're not ripe, we could just pull the vine out of the stem, and we should deactivate them. And you go to demonstrate this, pulling out the vine out of the stem and just spraying the party with choking smoke. Cool. So everybody Constitution saving throw as you gas the team.
Oh, man.
13.
So I might have botched. Is that bad?
Jeez.
Is that bad to botch against mustard gas?
I mean, you were the closest to the explosion. It would make sense for you to take the brunt of it.
Hang on, I get incredible toughness. I get advantage on this motherfucker. Oh, that's 1 point better. I got a 10.
Oh, that's so mean. Roll 20.
Not only is it bad that you botched, Gentleman Bramwell, but you also failed your perception. The whole group did, which meant I was having something sneak up on you during this scene, in addition to you gassing yourself, which is fun.
Yay.
Okay, cool.
So as the entire team is hit with this choking black cloud, you all are going to take, let me see here. Oops.
Lung damage, right?
Okay. So everyone takes 8 damage from the gas. And then Bramwell in particular feels a sharp stabbing pain as someone stabs him in the back.
Is it Staples?
Can I take my hammer and swing at whoever it is?
Not with a botch. We're gonna have to get back to that in a moment.
Okay.
So you only take 2 more damage. So basically the scene is you're all standing here looking at these melons talking about the implications, the ethical implications of using these kind of weapons. Bramwell gasses the group, and as you're lost in this cloud while hacking and coughing your lungs out, something or multiple somethings sneak into this cloud, sensing an opportunity for attack, and begin stabbing the group.
Oh, jeez.
So Sabrina Wolfram and Lola Beans, you arrive back at the vineyard.
Deedle, 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 deedle. Dude, we're having a great day. We're not getting stabbed today.
Duke!
We got rid of your giraffe.
You find Duke Pendergrass sitting on a hill with some of his mole workers. They're sipping wine, looking out over the field. The Duke has taken off his workers' gloves because they're all dressed like they work the fields because they do. Although his clothes are a little nicer. It's like he goes to the nice overall
it's
store.
Like the nice athleisure. Is it like the nice athleisure? Like you're getting the Ivy Park, you're getting the Nike brand.
Exactly. So he wants to look like everybody else, but not be as uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
And also spend a lot of money.
Yeah. He has these very beautiful, colorful green and blue peacock wings. But now you see he's taken off his gloves and he has very long, pointed fingernails. I think they immediately scream demon to you, Lola. You crit on knowing about Nephilim. So there's no hiding those kind of claws he has. But otherwise, he looks more or less human as he sits here sipping a rosé with his workers.
It was a hydra giraffe, a hydra. I can't make it into one word, but
yes, that's why the hyphen, I believe.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to kind of create a mashup like this here chicken fox that is now mine.
A Chox, if you will.
A Chox, yeah, her name is Sandra.
That's not weird.
No, why would it be weird?
I would not know.
That's what was happening to your trees. The white wolf here actually did most of the work because I'm not a failure. It's fine.
Wait, you let 10-year-old fight largest land animal?
Oh,
no. They can eat 100 pounds of produce in a single day.
Why would we fight it?
Do you have the sheet in front of you with those facts?
Yes, I look at giraffe Wikipedia earlier.
Oh, wait, if you didn't know what it was, and why was you looking up giraffe hydras?
Well, this was out of character joke. It did not need to stand up to scrutiny.
Okay, now I see what we're... Okay.
Now we are here, and you've made it weird.
Inherent in the system. No, I try to talk to it as I have a certain rapport with a lot of animals. But not with this animals, because there's 3 heads, so it's like three different ones, all right? They each have dreams and personalities, I'm sure. But Sabrina was able to, trick it into leaving by annoying it. So no fighting was done.
Well, that is very clever. Are we not concerned about long-term implications? Where does a beast of that size come from? Where does it go?
Okay.
Cotton Eye Joe.
I understand that what you're saying is correct, but this is not what you asked us to do, okay? You didn't say, hey, can you figure out a long-term giraffe plan?
Perhaps we'd have to make another deal in that case.
Make an animal, sanctuary? I don't know.
I am always open to deal. What do you suggest?
How about we answer the first deal first?
I do love a deal within a deal.
Some Hamlet fucking bullshit.
If you'll excuse me, gentlemen, he says to the workers, who all nod and pick up their charcuterie boards and go walk away.
Come on.
Every mole gets a charcuterie board. That's my political position.
I do. I love charcuterie.
Yorski Pendergrass 2020, a charcuterie board for every worker.
And red wine, apparently.
Optional. Austin prefers a fine grape juice.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Get off of here. Go away.
Okay, so this is a very high stakes conversation that you cannot roll your way out of. Unfortunately, I know how much Chris and Lauren appreciate.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna just roll something ahead of time.
No,
so I don't
Chris,
feel
if I
bad
can't
later.
roll for being charismatic, then you can't. This is a dude.
I'm just doing. I just want it for fun. See, I got it. I don't know what that. 20. That would be really good. So I'm just gonna go into it thinking I should be really good.
Nothing. He's trying to psych me out. Okay, so you have successfully saved the orange grove, and in response, Pendergrass will answer any question you have. That's the deal. So you can get
just one or
this episode. The audience won't know because I'll edit it to be beautiful. But this episode has been such a knife fight in a phone booth to record.
Is it?
So you can ask him anything. This is a huge opportunity. So let's see if we can get the critical shit out.
I'm going to ask, where is my mother?
Your mother, she leave Gorefields after disagreement with myself.
About what?
About my lack of ambition.
What was she looking to do?
She was looking to... She was looking to get rid of your father.
Is that why she needs a conduit?
Your mother did not ever try to achieve conduit. She tried to make me, or rather, she encouraged me to make better use of mine. And when I did not, she left. She was disappointed in me.
Well, then I need to find her then. I need to know where she would go.
That is a fair question. She did not tell me exactly, but I may have ideas and information that could help. Are you no longer convinced of your need for a conduit?
No, I need a conduit. But if someone like you can get a conduit, then it can't be that hard.
What is meaning by this?
Well, you said it yourself. My mother was disappointed in you. She needed you and you let her down.
Fucking Jesus.
Sabrina, I think maybe you're being a little harsh there.
My man's just getting stomped.
He said it himself.
Well, I mean, but you aren't your mother. You can't be disappointed in him without knowing what's going on. And, if you want someone to help you, maybe don't... Being rude doesn't usually help, I found.
It doesn't matter if I'm rude. We have a deal. That's this whole thing, right?
You are correct. And I do not think there is anything you can say that will hurt me more than what I think about myself. So...
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
The Duke says, conduits are a terrible burden. People think of them as power, but what they are obsessions. You do not gain one. It consumes you. You forget other things in life, your childhood, your friends, your history. It eats away everything else you are, until you are only this one thing. It is a curse, and your mother would not want you to have one.
And then why is she looking for one?
Because it is only with the power of a conduit that your father could be overthrown.
Then it doesn't change anything. If my mother needs a conduit, then I'll become one.
And I suppose that is where this conversation was always leading. I can help you become a conduit, but it will not be easy. You will suffer greatly for the rest of your life, which will be unnaturally long. You will essentially be taking on a curse. I can do this for you with a heavy heart, and I do not think Frida would forgive me.
I mean, why does it necessarily have to even be a curse?
On some level, is Lola thinking about how she doesn't know her own age, or if she has any family members, or how everyone in her life has basically been pushed away, and how she tried to get close to Sabrina and just basically pelted her with fruit?
Yes.
And failed with the Hydra. Basically, what I'm saying, Lola, is
Lola's having a rough day.
Yeah, your entire life is a motherfucking car crash, girl. And this guy...
relatable.
And this guy is kind of laying it out. And this is me, Austin, peeling back the curtain. Chris, Sabrina can stay behind in the Gorefields for a training montage and become a conduit. But that will involve leaving the Finding Your Mom quest to the rest of the party.
If you give him a chance to run away from us, he'll run.
No, but Austin's also playing to my deep desire to have training arcs. Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm also a big fan of the juicy tragedy of someone making a bad decision.
Make bad choices. Make bad choices.
Make mistakes.
I gotta listen to the OST of Goku leaving the hyperbolic time chamber to see if this hypes me up enough for it.
Yeah, so I mean, this is where we are. Lola, do you have anything to say? Because basically Duke Pendergrass is laying out how this will fuck up Sabrina's life, and you have experience, so.
I mean, it depends on what you make of it. I think becoming a conduit to kill your own father, I feel like that's a little much for. Maybe don't make that your life's goal.
It's a bit much for a 10-year-old. I think you should have to wait until you're 21 to decide whether or not you're going to become...
Yeah, your brain isn't fully developed, so you can't be a conduit yet. No.
I don't have time to wait till I'm 22.
Go find your mum and go, hey, I found you. I can get a conduit. Is that okay? Get parental permission.
I understand the want for power and how reading that she needed a conduit makes you think that's what I can do to help. But consider this, White Wolf, if she wanted you to be the one who got the conduit, she probably would have said that. She'd been like, hey, I would love Sabrina to be a conduit. But she did not want that. She wants you to be, I'm assuming, as a mother, she probably wants you to be safe. And you becoming the weapon is kind of the antithesis of all of that.
I do not know what she wants in her heart, but I do know her other option, if she could not find conduit to defeat your father, was to try to escape Wormwood altogether. She had heard talk in Absinthia to the north of a piece of the old world, which is there, and thought maybe she could escape into it.
Do I have to give you my answer right now?
No, you do not. I would not tarry long, though. Your life on the Salt Flats can be abruptly cut short, and training will take long time, so do not tarry long.
I just need to talk to someone first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think basically the Gorefields arc is going to take a turn into this iron mine assault dungeon and then come back here for this decision, which is very interesting because these plot lines of the rebellion and Sabrina's mother are like weaving more and more every episode.
Good shit.
Yeah.
So why did my mom come to see you to begin with? Was it just because you had a conduit?
Yes, I believe so. She knows conduit makes people powerful. She came seeking my help, and although she was kind to me, ultimately I could not give her what she wanted. I give these moles better life, certainly better than slavery, but I do not have courage, perhaps, to destroy current system.
How did you get your conduit? Who taught you?
Part of the curse is not knowing where obsession began. It feels as if it has always been there, eating away everything else I was. It's making deals, small changes, reforms, little by little, becoming obsessed with easing suffering, but never upsetting status quo. This became who I was. One moment I was not conduit, next I was. There was no one. It is hard to explain, but if there was just a thing you could do, if there was the ritual or words you could speak, everyone would do it, but it is not that. It is something you become when there is nothing else left of you.
If we stop the God King, would you help us?
If I chose a side, if I did not compromise between God King and subjects, what would be left of me?
Are you scared?
Always. Every hour of every day.
Ooh, can I ask, do you know what my father's conduit is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes. God King Wolfram is conduit of potential.
What does that mean?
Perhaps you have seen travelers who fall asleep on salt?
Yeah. They die.
They do not die, but they do not awaken.
Are they like Schrodinger zombies or something?
No, they are stripped of their will to live, of their potential. Eventually they wither and die, but they are not killed outright.
Oh, so it's like depression.
So the God King's taking their potential?
So it's like he's giving them clinical depression.
I mean, yeah, kind of, yeah. That's basically what's happening.
Oh God, no!
His power is to demoralize the people, and
Fuck.
Pendergrass tells you that he uses that potential to fuel his control over the salt. It's like a vicious cycle. The more power he gets over salt as a salt genasi, the more powerful his influence as a conduit becomes as he takes people's potential and uses it to become more powerful.
Oh, that sucks.
This obsession is what drives him to have perfect child. The potential of a perfect legacy.
So if I don't have a conduit, he's just going to keep having kids anyway until he has one.
That is nature of conduit. It is all-consuming. He cannot be swayed, just as I cannot be.
I want Sandra to have an egg so I can offer him an egg in this trying time.
Okay.
Can I throw an egg at him in this trying time?
She's not just like popping out eggs all day. She's got her own life.
That's what chickens do.
Okay, I'm gonna give him an egg in this try. Would you like an egg in this trying time? I wonder if it'll look like a fox or a chicken or both.
All right. Vindrass, Khorton, and Gentleman Bramwell, you're in a choking cloud of black smoke. They're
Much less fun.
Bramwell, you just got stabbed in the back. What do all of you do?
Turn around and look to see who
Yeah.
stabbed him.
I mean, you're in this black smoke, so you can't really see anything right now.
Oh, I have an idea. Vindrass is going to do a standing leap directly upwards to try and get a sense of what attacked us and which direction is it? Try and jump up out of that cloud.
Interesting. Okay, acrobatics.
I think I get advantage on that. Yes, I do. 15.
All right, so Vindrass, you leap up out of the cloud of gas, and I think you like land on the part of the barn, which I think is called a hayloft, right? It like looks out over like a window, so you can see the cloud clearly. Bramwell and Khorton are still in the middle; they're still choking as they're being stabbed. But you get out of the cloud, and you can see it from above, and you can also see what's entering it, which are wave after wave of Scarecrow.
Ah.
Oh, I like these dudes. They're the best.
Roll initiative.